Hello, my name's Bing, aka Eclipse of Crybaby Raiders, EU Neptulon. I'm doing a short video series on improving your DPS. This is mostly aimed at our raiders and trials, but anyone can watch. So it's people who already have some good experience of heroic raiding, or mythic now, and already have a good knowledge of their class, just looking to get a bit more out of their gear. And today we're mainly going to talk about weak auras, setting it up, and how to track things with it. So the first step, I'm going to put up a link to weak auras, go and download that, and then meet me in World of Warcraft. So the three main things that we're going to track using weak auras. The first thing is short rotational cooldowns. So in this case, because I'm using a Shadow Priest to demonstrate, it's going to be Mind Blast, but it could be Riding Sun Kick or Lava Burst or Explosive Shot, anything like that, where you want to use it as soon as it comes off cooldown. Second, we're going to track a debuff on the target, in this case a dot, Shadow Word Pain. And then finally I'll show you how to track a buff, a self buff, but we're going to have to switch character for that. So open up weak auras by typing in /WA, and I've given you some example auras for all of these. So copy the one for the spell cooldown. So import, paste it in, and you should see cooldown group pop up. Just click import. So first thing, click on the group, and we want it only to load for priests. So check player class or priest or whatever you're playing. This one is tracking when the cooldown's ready, so click cooldown ready, and go on to trigger to see what it's tracking, and type in the name of whatever you're tracking. So in this case it's going to be Mind Blast. Similarly, for tracking when it's actually on cooldown, type Mind Blast. And to move it, click on the group so you move everything together, and just drag it somewhere on your screen. I'm just going to show you now what it looks like. When it's on cooldown, you'll see this little grey icon, timer in the middle, and the ticking clock. When it's ready again, it'll start flashing, so there's no way to miss it. And then it's on cooldown again. I'm actually going to move it so it doesn't overlap with my combat text. Cool. So the next thing is tracking a dot. Again, I've given you an example weak aura for that. Click import, paste, dot group, import. Again, click on the group and go to load, and make sure it only loads for your class. And then go to trigger to tell it what to track. In this case, we're going to track Shadow Word Pain, but whatever it is you want to track, just type it in there. And you can see there's no icon for this weak aura dot missing. To fix that, just go to display, and where it says display icon, click choose, and just type in the name. And you can see Shadow Word Pain. OK. Click again on the group so that you move it together. I'm just going to move it off to one side, so you can see what it looks like. We have the icon here. It ticks away, and it shows you the remaining time in the middle. And if there's no dot up, then it'll start flashing, and it'll be grey. It'll be pretty obvious that you need to cast something. Now, to give you an idea, in my gear unbuffed, I do about 13k DPS. The majority of that is coming from Mind Blast, actually. It's so important that these main nukes, you use them as soon as they're available. So I'm going to demonstrate just using Mind Blast and Shadow Word Pain, which is what we're tracking, Devouring Plague to spend the Shadow Orbs that I'm generating, and Mind Flay the filler. So there's a whole bunch of spells that I'm not even going to cast. I'm just going to demonstrate here. And you can see actually this is going to get us most of the way to what we're looking for with the DPS. So I'm going to focus on using Mind Blast as soon as it's available, and you can probably hear I'm mashing the button even before it comes off cooldown to make sure I don't delay it at all. And I'm keeping my dot refreshed before it drops off, obviously. This Mind Blast is so important. If I delay it by 1 second, I lose 5% of my DPS. I'm not even going to use this proc. It doesn't matter. So in old money, delaying this by 1 second would be costing me 20k DPS. when you consider how much gems are worth, this is really a big deal. Using your spells correctly is probably more important than any amount of gearing. Cool, so I'm just going to extinguish my dots now. You can see I'm doing about 12.5k DPS. I'm pretty close to my full rotational DPS using 4 buttons, pretending I'm an elemental shaman, and actually because it's so important to use it on cooldown, that's getting me most of the way to my full DPS. And just quickly, I'm going to show you how to track a self buff with my Feral Druid. In this case it's Savage Roar, but it could be something like Tiger Power, or not Inquisition, because apparently 5 buttons is too difficult for Ret Paladins, or Invocation, etc, etc. So again, I've given you a template. Open up Weak Auras, copy the template, click Import, paste, and you should see Buff Group, and just click Import. Again, go to the group, go to Load to set this up to only display for Druids, go to Trigger to tell it to track Savage Roar. We don't have the icon, so click on the one without an icon, go to Display, choose the icon, Savage Roar, select that, and it's going to look pretty much as you expect. When the buff is missing, it will start flashing, telling you, hey, get this buff up, and then when you use it, it'll pop up and show you how much time you've got remaining. It's that simple. Right, so to summarize, use Weak Auras. I've given you templates for tracking rotational cooldowns, for tracking dots or other debuffs on the target, and for tracking self buffs. Set them up around your UI, and we'll come back and do a bit more next time. So see you for now.